guys, it's me, Teresa Parent. I just want to give you an update on ATXI. Things are getting very, very juicy. I'm getting a lot of crap because I held my swing trade. Guys, my day trade was gone yesterday. I am currently swing trading this, and I plan to be opening another day trade position when we get the 1348 crossover. And I'm going to explain the chart to you in just a minute and why I'm keeping my swing trade. And guys, I'm perfectly content with that decision because I know how volatile this stock is and how it moves. And especially after seeing what I just saw, and I'm going to show you on Fintel. The cost to borrow, guys, has gone through the roof. It's now at 881%. I'm telling you, they need our shares. There was no accident what happened today. If you were watching the level 2, you saw that they were not even filling the bids that were higher than what they were asking for. They were literally driving this price down, and they're doing it because they need people to sell. They're desperate. Hence, I am not worried about it. But guys, that is my risk tolerance, and I need to know what my risk and what my reward is and what my goal is in this trade, as all of you should know as traders. Are you day trading this? Are you swing trading this? Are you looking for a squeeze? What is your goal here? And I want to say something else about squeezes because I had somebody say something to me about a squeeze. Guys, true Volkswagen type squeezes are very, very rare, okay? Or like the GME squeeze that we saw, those are extremely rare and they do not happen very often. It is so important that you realize that. Truly what we saw over the last couple of days, we were starting to squeeze these shorts out of the play. Today, however, I believe they doubled down. I don't see anything that indicates there was an update to the Fintel short interest number, guys. It's still showing 53 point something%. So I don't really trust that, though. To be perfectly honest with you, you see the volume on this stock, okay? Currently, the offering that they filed for, which, by the way, was just the registration statement. They haven't done an offering as of yet. So I am cautious of that in the back of my mind too, because if people freaked out by the filing, which by the way, guys, there was already a filing in there, like back on August 31st. This was just an amendment to it. Simply an amendment to that filing. And people freaked out and sold. Well, that's okay. More for us to buy, in my opinion, because an offering hasn't even been made yet. Now, I would be a fool to think that it's not going to get done, guys. And I would be lying to all of you if I told you that I didn't think one was going to be done. And I am not a liar. I tell it straight as I see it. Okay? Most of the time, I get things right. Sometimes I get them wrong. And I admit when I get them wrong. Yeah, maybe I should have sold out and bought back in. But guys, I don't want to watch this 24/7. That is not my intent. If I were day trading it, I'd be watching it like a hawk. However, I thought it was going to curve up earlier. And I even sent out a tweet saying, hope you bought the dip because, it was an opportunity or whatever the case may be, whatever exactly I said. But guys, it didn't. After that statement, right before that cross, it curved back down. And that's something that can happen, which is why I'm waiting to open a new swing trade until I see that 1348 crossover. I also want to discuss with you the fact that there is a gap fill to the downside and a gap fill to the upside. So I will be erring on the side of caution here in case we dip below my comfort zone, which right now I'm thinking is slightly under $8, like right around that $8 range, but within a few cents under, I would be comfortable. But if it continues to go lower than that, guys, and it's not showing signs, that it's just curling, sometimes it curls before it rips. If it's not showing me an indicator that I'm getting out for now because I think it will go down and fill that gap. However, I think it's going to go up before it goes down. That is my personal thought process, but I'm not stupid. And I know that it could go either way because I have to realize I think that there are a lot, and I mean a lot of retail traders in this play. And my thought process is this extreme volatility. This is being driven by retail traders. And especially with today's action where it wasn't even an offering, it was a filing, it was the registration statement, actually an amendment to the registration statement. And if people freak out about that, then yeah, we got a problem here. So I have to err on extra caution regarding that and knowing that there is 2 gap fills. But I am thinking that we are going to get a gap fill to the upside before we get one to the downside. Could be completely wrong. You know, I won't know until I see the chart action and how things move. But that being said, I know my risk and I know my reward. And I'm telling all of you right now, if this dips much below $8, I will be temporarily out. I am not giving up on the play, but I will be protecting my investment and not trying to take a loss. I want to keep gains. At that point, I'll be wishing I got out at the top, but that's okay because I made money on my swing. But now I have to protect. I made money on my day trade and I want to make money on my swing trade. So if it goes below that, then I'm going to take my profits and watch. But guys, that being said, I think tomorrow we make that 1348 crossover and we move to the upside, and let me show you why. All right, so as you can see, we're still showing 53.58% short interest, guys. But like I said, I do not trust this because we're showing that there's only 6,000 shares left to short. And look at this cost to borrow. A minimum of 881%, a maximum of 938.75%. Guys, that is absolutely crazy. That tells me that they're desperate for shares. When you see numbers like that, that's what we're seeing, like when we saw Redbox before it went from $3 to $18. This is the kind of short interest that you see. So I don't believe that this play is done. Again, I'm going to err on caution and advise all of you to do the same. However, the short volume ratio still remains to be a low of 39.07% and a high of 53.13%. Most days are in those, mid 40s to low 50s range. So, I'm sorry, there was a low of 34.11 on the bottom that I missed. So that was actually the low. Just caught that out of the corner of my eye. Now, failure to delivers. Guys, remember, these are cumulative. And look at what's happening. They gained control, right? There were no failure to delivers on the 30th through the 5th, and then they started losing control again. Okay? Now, in that time, this was still trading, guys, at before the pre-split at 22, 25, 23 cents. Imagine the loss of control that they have right now with far less shares. Let me tell you, when we get those new numbers, they're screwed. And I assure you, they are screwed. Those numbers are going to be rocketed, in my opinion. If not, I'm not going to believe it for a second because we see what the price action has done. So, guys, this is just a little pullback. Not sweating it, but I am going to be cautious. Now, let me show you the chart and tell you my reasoning behind this. We're going to look at the daily chart. We're going to look at the 4-hour chart. And we're going to look at the 5-minute chart. And I have confirmation on all 3, okay? Let's get into the charts. Okay, guys, so my reasoning why I say that this play is still very much valid is because we still are trading above on the daily chart, the 20 and the 48 SMA. And mainly when it comes to my day trading, I want to ensure that the 13 remains above the 48. That's the crossover I'm looking to maintain. And guys, as you can see in this play, there are 2 areas that I am paying attention to. Number 1, there is a gap that's down, and that's from 438 to 556. That is always going to be in the back of my mind if this comes lower. And honestly, if this dips below 8, I will probably exit this play temporarily because I would want to see if it would continue to bounce off of one of these moving averages. Otherwise, I'm going to think it's going to continue a downward trend. However, where it closed today, I am not expecting that to happen. And I'll show you that in a minute. Because the other thing that I see when I look at this play is there's a huge gap to the upside, guys. And that's from $10.50 to $12.54. And I believe that we get that gap fill way before we come down to this one. But again, I need to err on the side of caution and no. Now, I will be honest, today we did not get the cross back over where I thought we would, and I did consider exiting at that point. However, I believe that we are so heavily shorted at this point that we will continue to make this move to the upside. And guys, like I've said all along, ATXI is a swing trade for me. So I know my risk to my reward. And right now, nothing has changed on the daily chart other than, yeah, we dipped. But guys, if you know this play, it's one thing if you're day trading this, then you should have been out of this a long time ago, right? You shouldn't have entered it at all today unless it was to a short position. And tomorrow, though, I think you may have a massive opportunity for an up position, but we shall see. Now, I want to show you something. If you take a look at the 4-hour chart, nothing's changed on the 4-hour chart either, guys. The 13 is still above the 48 SMA. So, to me, there's no indication here that I should exit my swing trade. And that, you know, as a trader, there's ups and downs. This is not a stock that moves, you know, a few cents a day. This is a stock that moves quite violently because of its very low share count. Guys, even with the offering, once it gets announced, now, if they offer at a higher price than what we're currently trading at, then I think we will see a big move to the upside. If they offer a lower, you better believe we're going to come down to that price. Right now, there's no dollar sign or official offering on the table yet, so we can't say what it's going to do one way or another. As far as that rumor goes with that $6 and change, guys, that is not the price of ATXI's offering. That was the price that the day they did that paperwork, it closed at. So the only way I would expect it to be that low is if they already had the offer and it was over and done with. But that shouldn't be the case considering that paperwork was just filed today, correct? Okay. So that simply just stated what the closing price was. And it did say that this, you know, stock trades violently. It's not something that trades within any range at all that's minor. I mean, it literally trades like 4 to 5 days, $4 to $5 every day in one direction or the other. It's nuts. Now, here is what I'm looking at for going into tomorrow, guys, and why I remain bullish. This green line, my 13, and my purple SMA. Now, if you were day trading this, you should have been out the minute that this 13 crossed below the purple. That is a day trader's sign to exit. However, if you are swing trading it, you're looking at the longer time frames, not the shorter ones like this. So guys, I did exit my position that I'm day trading yesterday because, guys, this is a stock that you don't hold overnight as a day trade. For a swing trade, however, it's a different story, and I still have that position, and I'm comfortable with that position. And guys, if this makes the crossover tomorrow morning, like I'm expecting it to, and crosses the 13 crosses above the 48, then I will be adding to that position right here because I see an opportunity to get that gap filled to the upside. So again, I will still hold my swing trade, but I will open a day trade if that makes that cross. And once it crosses back under, I will exit that day trade. There's a different way to trade, guys, for different things. And I trade multiple different ways, but I've been very clear all along that this is a swing trade to me. And I even told you that my risk tolerance is higher than a lot of people's. So please keep that in mind because that's part of my decision-making skills. And I'm showing you the chart to show you why I'm making the decision that I'm making. Technically, guys, I would not be exiting this play if I didn't know about this gap down unless this 13 crossed under the 20 and under the 48. I'm thinking around, though, this $8 range is where I feel safe. I may let it go a little bit lower if it's just slowly crossing over, under on the daily because I still feel comfortable and my risk is still fine. I'm still up. Granted, yeah, would I have liked to exit my complete trade up here? Yes, I would have. But, guys, I'm going for the bigger picture. I'm going for, you know, something up here, believe it or not. That is what I'm looking at with this play, and I think it's possible, but it is going to take time, and this is not an overnight position for me, which is why it is a swing trade. All right, guys, that's it for today. Hope this made it perfectly clear for you. Hope you can see what I'm looking at, and I hope you learned something.